Okay, so if you haven't kept up, Lexie from SAINT SATINE has just announced that she left the group. I predicted this a few months ago. I'll link the video below if you want to watch. Now we're going to see why she might have dipped and how the other members feel, and also like what the heliante is going on with HybexGeffen. Of course, everything I say is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And with peace and love, and let's go. Also remember, you can order personal readings from me now if you're interested. Lexie on this side, and then HybexGeffen on this side, because I want to see what the decision might have been between the two of them. You know what's funny? In the video that I did, she got this card, but it was in the reverse position, which is like, I need to let go of something. This is like the final blow. I believe Lexie's leaving HybexGeffen too, right? Because sometimes artists stay. That's good, I think. I think she's worried about backlash, or that too, but I think a big driver of why she left was I feel like she's been getting hate a little bit, or like people kind of think she's a mean girl or something along that line. That like really that really was kind of a factor for her, because I see this as being comments, like she couldn't handle the comments or the critiques that she was getting. On their side, this is kind of like a loss for them. That's what this card reads as. This is a loss. We were trying to juggle a lot, and this is, especially because it's a Pentacles card, I feel like they're already thinking about how to pivot. I think they might actually have someone in the wings ready to take her spot. I also said in that video, and I was so confused by it, but I was like, she's going to be swapped with someone. Which I mean, like, now that we're, here in the future, that makes a lot of sense. But I think they're already like, who we're going to replace her with. They feel, HybexGeffen feels kind of irritated, but like, ultimately, like, what are you going to do? I think Lexie, really was kind of like trying to tough it out, but I really feel like the final nail in the coffin for her was like the comments, or like feeling like people were kind of mean. She feels conflicted about this decision still, or kind of like still a little bit like in anguish maybe, because this is like being bound up. There's more she wants to say. That's it. Because that's also what I said in the last video, is like there was a lot she couldn't say, or there was kind of like something suppressing her communication. This feels like both internally, mentally, she feels very conflicted. I don't know 100% it's sort of like this is the wrong move, but sort of like I've put so much time and effort. It's like an opportunity cost, like sunken cost fallacy. That's what she feels. But there's also something about like she wants to say more than she's allowed to say. Maybe about what went on behind the scenes. I'm not sure. She won't be able to. I'm sure there's also like a contract in place that like prevents that. HybexGeffen, judgment, a wake up call. They're getting a wake up call about something. This is like the third idol, right? Because there was Hisung and there was Mana, of course, is on hiatus. This is there's also okay, I don't know, but I just heard shareholders. So I feel like there's something about like the shareholders are gonna like, I have no idea how this works, by the way, in business, but I feel like there's like somebody on like the board or like a shareholder is gonna be like, what the heliante is going on over there? Because so many idols seem to be leaving, and there's just so much like, whispers of mistreatment, whispers, loud yelling. But there's something about like they're gonna receive a wake up call with, I don't know if it's about idol treatment behind the scenes, but certainly I think there might be a culling, or like more moderation or more suppression of like mean comments. Like HybexGeffen is going to do more, or maybe send out more bot comments so it's like more balanced online or something. I see that for some reason. Like I see them trying to like, I wouldn't say limit, because it's like, how can you limit like free speech, But it's sort of like there's something about they don't like the way that their idols are talked about publicly, or like getting a lot of backlash. Because I don't know. I suppose from their perspective, they probably do see how that can wear on an idol. There's something about that. Anyway, Page of Swords in the middle. Communication again. There's something that Lexie doesn't like about how they did this, how HybexGeffen approached this or communicated this, or there's something weird about a contract that she had to sign, or some sort of something. I see that as well. And you know why in my mind's eye? I see Lexie, and then I see like them, and she's in a room, and she's in like a big conference room, and then there's like people in suits, and they like slide a paper to her, and then she makes a face, like a scrunched up face, and then she's like, I guess I have to sign this. That's what it is. There's something weird. It might be literally like just a typical traditional NDA where she really can't say anything at all about her experience, good or bad. But there's something she does not like. I don't know if it's shady per se, but she doesn't like it. But I've said before, I really kind of feel like Lexie doesn't like having her language policed, for one reason or another. Okay. That's like not conflict anymore. Doing things differently. That's so interesting, because judgment is like a wake-up call, and then the Hierophant is like doing things differently. There's a policy change now. Honestly, I don't think this is actually for the betterment of the idols, unfortunately. I don't think HybexGeffen really is thinking all that strongly about the idols per se, because this is more like, almost like, I think one of the reasons why Lexie had such an easy out, because typically idols, I don't think, have an easy way to get out of a contract if they just simply want to leave the group. If people are saying it's because she hadn't fully signed the contract for SAINT SATINE or something, I don't know. But there's something about that where HybexGeffen wants to close a loophole. Yeah. I see a lot of contracts in my head suddenly. Just That, I mean, we are dealing with like a company, but that's what I see is like a lot of like written documents and stuff. They want to close a loophole. They were sort of like, you got us, girl. Because you also know this is kind of like messiness or sloppiness, or sort of like, especially the infinity sign is like something being complete, and the reverse was like this was incomplete. Wait, yes, okay. They're trying to do something differently, but it doesn't feel like it's necessarily different in the sense of we want to better support our idols. It's different in the sense of we don't want to be caught with like our pants down. I don't like that saying, but Lexie got the 5 of wands in the reverse position. That's interesting because she also got the wands over there. 5 of wands is usually like organization of something that was once chaotic, but sometimes it can just be like the suppression of it. So it's sort of like you sweep something under the rug. I will say, I feel like Lexie a little bit, if I were to be honest with you, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, I feel like she kind of struggled with the other members. We're gonna pull on the other members in a second, but partly I feel like she just felt like she was being pulled in a lot of directions. I think she's kind of an introvert. I said she was quite emotional as well. It seemed like there was just a lot of pressure and a lot of stimuli and a lot of things to manage that she was like, I don't know about this, guys. Justice is good though, because it means like there wasn't, I will say, I think whatever loophole, because this is like, I'm bothered by this suddenly, because justice is like, this was just and fair, but in this sense it doesn't feel like justice in the sense of like we're like HybexGeffen, we're good people. It's more like she should have the right to leave, and it's good that she exercised that. So like I feel like there isn't a ton of animosity between either of these people. I will say, I do think Lexie signed something that she's unhappy about, but ultimately I don't feel like, it's interesting, HybexGeffen doesn't, it's for them, I imagine it's business is business, so they don't look at her sideways. They're like, damn. Because I really feel like they were like, we should have covered our asses more on this one. It's interesting. There's no like love lost. Truly, like that's, I mean, I'm going to pull one more, but really I think it's just Lexie she just was like, this is a lot, Gucci gang. They do feel this is a loss, HybexGeffen, because this is grief, what we've lost. They are so sad Lexie's not in the group. I think Lexie's, I mean, obviously she's a beautiful girl. She's a great singer too, right? I can't remember. There's something about like, we need to find, oh, you know what I just heard? This is so shady, but they're like, we need to find a new visual. That's so, that's HybexGeffen's biggest concern. I mean, everyone in SAINT SATINE has like their own skill and talent, certainly. Lexie was definitely kind of positioned to be the visual, but I hear them wanting to find someone attractive, or like make someone attractive to replace Lexie, because that was per the cards, not my opinion, but it seems like they really wanted Lexie because she's so beautiful. There's something about that. This was a great loss for them. Lexie got the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse position, which is like not seeing a legacy. Yeah, she was like, I think she was genuinely staring down like the next like however many years she would have been in SAINT SATINE, and it really got to her. She was like, I can't do this. Like, it felt like so much pressure. If I'm in her energy, she feels like she's being compressed and pulled in many directions. I relate to this, because like there's no, like, if I imagine myself as a K-pop idol, I would die. I really would. I get her in that sense. Like, it just was a lot of pressure. Truly, I do think it was the comments that got her. Like, I'm suddenly like so emotional. Oh my god. It's so weird with tarot, because like suddenly I think I'm in her energy, because I feel like I'm panicking. I feel like I'm like having a panic attack, but like it's hard to explain, like not actually, but that's how I feel. Like I feel like if I wanted to, I could start like hyperventilating. Anyway, moon is like a secret, something hidden. That's so interesting, because we got the justice, but something hidden. But I feel like this is related to something on the wings. There's someone is waiting on the wings. I think they're going to try to do something interesting now that Lexie's left. Like they might add 2 new people or something. I don't know. There's going to be something interesting about their debut, or maybe I don't know if it'll be 100% like another survival show, maybe like a brief one, but they're going to do something to capitalize off of this, since, I mean, of course, I think they have more eyes on SAINT SATINE now. There's something about that. I don't know what the moon would be, because I guess the moon can also be illusions, which again is like waiting on the wings. Lack of fulfillment. No. Would they do another survival show for this? Would people watch? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's like this is the final piece. The only reason I say this is because this is like starting from like the ground up, like planting a seed for a tree to watch it grow instead of just like buying a tree. That's what this looks like. This is a lack of fulfillment though. I really don't understand this card. 9 of Cups. It can also be sometimes substances, like using in an unhealthy way. I'm not sure. Anyway, well, now let's see how Lexie and the girls' relationship is, and then I'm gonna pull on if maybe they're gonna bring back Ayana. Okay. Since there's only 4 members, I'm just gonna read all 4 of them, but more so in connection to Lexie. So you'll see. This is gonna be Lexie's card, King of Cups, and then this is gonna be Emily. Ooh, Samara, and then Sakura. Everyone. Okay, Lexie got the King of Pentacles. That's an interesting card. I'm trying to tell if it's her energy or energy around her. I can't tell. Emily got the star. That's that literally is like, I'm a star now. I don't know if she felt maybe like a sense of competition between her and Lexie. I think I can't remember this part, but I feel like I read something in the original video I did where it's like Lexie felt like there was like inequality in the group. Oh, favoritism. I think that's what I said. For one reason or another, funnily enough, it seems like Emily feels kind of good. Samara feels confused, deeply confused. This is illusion. This is sort of like uncertainty also about the future of the group. She's very, I don't know, in Samara's energy, I feel worried. Period. Like, I feel worried. I'm like, what now? Like, she just feels like a sense of unease. And Sakura, girl, I really wish I could share like what Sakura's energy feels like. It's so funny to me. It like makes me giggle. Like, I think she's quite smart, but she's very like, she's down to ride. That's what it is. Page of Cups. Like, her energy is just very like, oh, this is interesting. Like, another development. Page of Cups is young energy, though. She's very young. You know, that's like the controversy around her. Fish is luck. This is emotion. Like, she just feels very like, I literally like, this is interesting. Like, she doesn't feel like very love lost about it so far. I mean, you never know. This is an emotional card, but it's very just like curiosity more than it is like devastation. I don't know if they're really all that close. Maybe Samara was close to Lexie, but Emily feels kind of like, it's my time now. Maybe a sense of vulnerability as well. Oh, it's a lot of water cards as well. I don't 100% understand why Lexie got the King of Cups, though. The King of Pentacles, I mean. But the King of Pentacles is like wealth, masculine energy, so it's like maybe a rich benefactor. It could also represent perhaps her father or somebody, like if she was trying to go to a different company and like work under them, for example. I feel like that represents Lexie. Emotional. Strength. Emily feels good. I don't think Emily fucked with Lexie. I'm gonna be really honest with you. Per the cards, I don't think that Emily really thought very highly of Lexie. Allegedly, I like Emily. I think she's very sweet. Lexie got the Queen of Cups. Yes, I feel like she's trying to work with someone else. She might have gotten an offer already. I'm not sure, but I think she said in like her written statement that it's like, you won't see, this isn't the last of me or something like that. I believe her. I feel like she's working with someone else or trying to. It might be her own thing, like her own project that's being funded, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know if she's going under a different company or she just has a rich benefactor, but this feels outside of her, and this feels like someone is trying to bolster her up. I don't even know if she's necessarily going to be singing or not. She's a good singer, though, right? I don't know. I do think she will try to become a soloist, in the same way like Carly's a soloist, for example. I feel like she'd be happier as a soloist, too. I did say that she would do better in sort of more of an indie type of vibe. I don't know if she's necessarily the most group-oriented person either. Emily got the Strength, which is literally like empowerment. This is so funny because this is like, I'm the star now. And this is sort of empowerment. She feels good. A lot of yellow, like she's blue and a lot of yellow. I don't want to paint any of these girls in a negative light. I don't know if it's really like we dislike you, Lexie, because you're evil and mean. I think it might have been that Lexie just kind of withdrew a little bit and they like became closer as a result. There's something like that. But it might have also been that this was a long time coming, so they're not particularly emotional per se. The only reason I say that I feel like Emily's not like super torn up about Lexie leaving, in part, it is influenced by the last reading I did where it felt like, it wasn't even like they were fighting, but it just felt like there was a lot of tension between them in a way that I couldn't understand. Anyway, Samara got the Fool in the reverse position. Oh, Samara's worried, period. The Fool in the reverse position is sometimes it's like not being naive anymore, but only because you have, like I've seen this one too many times. Samara feels a deep sense of unease, I suppose, about the group's security. I'll say she seems the most grounded. Emily feels a bit optimistic, but Samara feels really grounded in reality, and she's sort of like, I don't think the members know what's going to happen if they're going to have a replacement member, or K-pop usually is just not one to like have a three-member whatever. Sakura is the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position. That's money. Ooh, I think she needs money. Well, I don't know, but I mean, I didn't watch the survival show that created SAINT SATINE and like chose Sakura, so I'm really not sure. But this feels like almost like she's going to be delayed in payment, because I'm sure artists, I don't know how HybexGeffen works, if they get like a base salary. I would imagine they do, whether they're promoting or not. But there's also something about, I feel like they get more money if they're like touring maybe, or promoting, or when they have a comeback, or they get like a bonus or more added to their whatever. There's something with her, she's concerned about money, specifically the movement of it. I wouldn't say she's like in poverty right now, but there's something where I would imagine perhaps that their comeback's going to be pushed back, because now it's like whatever they were planning with Lexie, they have to find someone else or revamp as a trio. I do want to see what's the plan for if they're going to replace someone and with whomst, and we'll pull that in a second. She's worried about the movement of money for some reason. I wouldn't say worried necessarily, but it's sort of like, because this card is like curiosity to me. This card in the reverse is sort of like, what I expected is not arriving. Yeah. Yeah. I in part because I in whatever for whatever reason in my mind's eye, I see her talking on like a phone, one of those phones from the 90s with like the cord on it or whatever, but I see her on the other end, her mom, she's talking to her mom about something. Like her mom expected like money. She might send money to her mom. Being on my high horse elevated, she feels better being out of the group. I think there's a sense of relief kind of with like the announcement, like, oh, it's finally over. I can finally she's definitely planning something or trying to work on something, certainly. Because this is like, this card is a movement card. It's a wands card, which can talk about like art, passion, energy, drive, fire, etc. And this is like elevation. Like it's a very good feeling card. This card's ruled by Leo as well, which is like being in the spotlight, the sunlight. She's working on something. She has some sort of financial help with that too. I feel like whatever she releases will be more like emotional. I think it could be something that would kind of connect with people. Whatever she releases, I think she should pursue some sort of artistry or craft or whatever and just do it in her own way, because it feels like it won't be big kind of K-pop idol things. It'll be like maybe like, I don't know why I keep wanting to say R&B, but it could just be that R&B tends to have like this moody emotionalness to it. I don't know, I actually think people would quite connect with her music. Anyway, but she's definitely going to pursue something. I believe her when she says we're not going to see the last of her. This is a King of Cups. Someone doesn't like Emily. I feel that way. You know, I think I didn't say that explicitly in the last reading, but I said there was favoritism. Whatever this person is, they feel like they're somewhat in charge of Saint Satine in some way. I can't tell if it's feminine or masculine. This card is masculine, but the person is like a shapeshifter in my mind. I really can't tell. Like they literally are changing shape in my mind. But I don't know. It's not like I dislike Emily. Like if you ask them, they would be like, I don't dislike her. But that's like weird to say, right? Instead of like, no, I do like her. They'd be like, I don't dislike her. I don't really know why. I think to be honest, if I were to be honest with you, it seems almost like a skill or an attribute that Lexie has that they don't like. It's like she's not quite. That's what it's like. It's almost like they can't finish the sentence, but it's like she's not quite. It's interesting. But she feels good. I don't know. I do think that they're going to push Lexie more. I think because she's one of the, you know, now we're going to find out, like, who's the next person. It's just going to be Samara and Lexie. And, of course, Lexie, I think, was a bigger part in the documentary. And so it's like she's definitely going to be the most familiar face. Samara's worried, period. This is like fruits of my labor. Are they paying off? Her cards are really clear. She's just worried. She's worried about the future. She's worried about like the path ahead of her. This is like the fruits of my labor, have they paid off? Will they pay off? She's put so much time and effort into Saint Satine. I mean, they've probably been like working on and practicing. It's been years, right, since the documentary came out, like 3 years. She's worried that like, is the amount of effort and time is it going to pay out? Because I mean, like in the time that she was probably working under HybexGeffen, being in Saint Satine, it's like, could I have pursued like a university degree or gotten a job or whatever? She's very concerned. I do think they're going to go forward with Saint Satine, so it's like something will be realized from this, but in the moment she's very scared. Sakura, the moon in the reverse position, that's like releasing of something. Moving away from illusion, money. I kind of want to pull more specifically on her because I don't understand. Oh, I think there's tension between these two for whatever reason. Is that crazy? I don't know. Because the moon is like, the moon to me, the moon's not typically read this way, but this feels like the releasing of like stress. Almost like you can finally take a deep breath or relax your shoulders. It's sort of like the moon takes a deep breath for me. It's interesting. This is like not connecting, not bonding. I'm going to pull specifically between Sakura and Lexie, and then I'm going to pull specifically between Lexie and Emily to see if like what the vibe is. I mean, per the cards, like Samara and Lexie just seem very like they're cool with one another. Samara feels very like she kind of stays to herself. This is gonna be Lexie. This is gonna be Sakura, and this is the energy in between. Language barrier, yeah. Because Ace of Swords, I mean, it could be. But I mean, Sakura, I now know, does not speak English particularly well yet, and that's okay. I don't speak Japanese. But the Ace of Swords in the reverse position is sort of like not communicating. A lack of communication or communication not going well. Ace of Pentacles, that's Sakura like offering things to Lexie, but it's sort of like because it's in the reverse, Lexie can't take them, didn't take them, or something along those lines. It's sort of like, I see Sakura like trying to connect, and it's just not like following. To be fair, though, I mean, like, since Lexie left, she might have just been not in the right headspace, particularly. I'm not sure. But it's from Sakura's point of view, it's like, I see her kind of like, a little like a puppy when you disappoint it. She's like, oh. Like, I see her kind of frown a little bit, like, I tried really hard and it didn't, like, pay off in terms of that. This is an interesting card to get, because it's 3. This is a friendship card though. It's like the harvest. It's like, but it's 3 people in that card, and it was 3 at one point, just the 3 of them before Sakura. I feel like because there are other cards that can mean friendship in the deck, I'm kind of getting the impression that Lexie, I wouldn't say Lexie dislikes Sakura. I would say Lexie didn't really know Sakura that well, and it was kind of disruptive to her when Sakura finally joined the group. There's something like that. It was sort of like Sakura was trying to make an effort, and Lexie was just sort of like, I already don't necessarily feel 100% in it, and like I don't want to connect with you because it's kind of challenging with the language barrier. I wouldn't say either one is like bad per se. I wouldn't say Lexie's bad for that. It feels very human, but it also is kind of a little bit like impolite. Like, I mean, you know, like Sakura's like a kid in a brand new country. I get it, but I think it's not necessarily beef between them. It's more just like the devil. Why did we get the devil? Oh, we've already been talking so long. This is I think, to be honest though, I honestly feel like Lexie's a little worried about Sakura. I don't feel like Lexie thought that much of Sakura, but I think she's worried about her now that she's maybe stepped back a little bit from being in the group. The devil's being chained to something toxic, but it's interesting because there's a person right here and person right there chained to something. This is not having enough information to make a choice, being at a stalemate, and this is like not offering something. I do think Lexie didn't make as much of an effort to maybe connect with Sakura as perhaps she could have. To be fair, Lexie probably was going through it. I wouldn't say Lexie was being mean, but I would say that Lexie did not extend maybe as much grace or understanding as she could have to Sakura. Sakura, I don't know why we got that. This is the moon though. She did get the moon in like, wait, just a second ago? No. She did get the moon in this poll, but there's something, maybe Sakura knows? I'm not sure why we keep getting the moon with her. It could also just be below her subconscious, like her intuition. I kind of want one clarification card on what the devil means. What the fuck? The tower. Why did we get the devil in the tower? 2 dark cards. You know, honestly, I'm gonna have to look at this in a different video because this seems like a really big issue. I'm not sure because this actually feels very chaotic. It doesn't feel like Lexie's done something wrong. She just was very like whatever about Sakura. But the devil in the tower's like a big disaster, and the devil's something toxic. 2 very like heavy hitting cards back to back like that. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about Sakura suddenly. I've been saying that though in the other reading. I said that her light was going to be dimmed eventually coming to America. 5 of Pentacles in the reverse position is sort of like, no, that's a weird card to get though. You know, honestly, I get the impression that like there's someone weird hovering around Sakura in the way, not necessarily in the same way that I felt that if you watch any of my cat's eye readings where I'm like, something's weird going on with like Megan, I feel that there's something weird about someone watching Sakura. And like, I don't know if this is even Lexie related or not, or it just wants me to talk about that in relation to Sakura. We're gonna have to pull on that because I'm kind of worried about her. All right, well, now I'm gonna look at Lexie and Emily just to see what's going on with them. Very long reading. Please comment below if you want me to read on whatever the fuck that is. Higher path, control. I feel like Lexie kind of finds Emily to be a bit controlling. Emily's the leader, right? That kind of makes sense. But that's how I feel. I think also Emily has a lot just to deal with. I think she actually is a leader because I think sometimes being a leader in a K-pop group is in name only. That's not true. Emily does a lot. She has a lot to manage and control. This is 4 Pentacles, which is like managing 4 people. I feel like maybe Lexie felt a bit stifled by Emily, but I also think if you were in Emily's shoes, where I'm sure the company's telling you to do a lot, it's sort of like you have to manage a lot and like balance being a leader with being a peer. I wouldn't say they dislike each other. I would say, because especially because the 4, that's interesting though, 4 and 4. This is like stability, friendship, home, celebration. Comments, pettiness, legacy. These cards again, legacy, panda. This is like petty fighting. This is feeling defended. I have to defend myself. And this is like not having a legacy anymore. I would say they had tension and friction, period. Like when they had to work together and be close to each other. I feel like in Dream Academy, it was sort of like you have your group, I have my group, but when we interact, it's fine. When they were put into a group, it's like our personalities are in a mismatch. I don't even think it's like I dislike her. I think she's a bad person. It's sort of like we just like have tension, we butt heads, period. I think Emily's kind of a little relieved that Lexie's out of the group because it feels foundational. That's what this card means too. It's foundation because it's like a table. It's like steady. It's like sturdy. I get that. I think that's why Emily feels a bit happy, perhaps, that Lexie has left. These cards feel very not what the devil in the tower. What the fuck was that? I will say I think Emily feels like there's gonna be maybe less drama or less tension intermixed in the group. I wouldn't say Lexie's a dramatic person. I would say maybe she is someone that has heavy emotions. And if you feel emotions, it feels kind of palpable when she walks in the room. But that's not bad. That's just different people. Yeah, they just had fundamental tension. They were different people. I think Lexie felt maybe a little bit cornered or attacked or exiled in the group, but that wasn't really like intentional. You know what I mean? Well, I don't think there's like a ton of drama per se. I really do think Lexie was like, Gucci gang, I can't do this. I'm staring. This is like legacy too. And we got that earlier. She was like, I'm staring down the next, however many years, and I don't think I can do this. And I do think there were personality mismatches, but it doesn't seem like massive drama per se. I'm worried about Miss Sakura. I feel like someone's watching her. In my mind's eye, I see someone watching Sakura in like a weird way. And I'm worried. Oh, wait. Damn it. No. Let me pull quickly and briefly on if they're going to replace, if it's going to be Ayana. If you don't know, Ayana, by the way, is someone who people wanted in the group, but they ultimately chose Sakura to be in the group. People liked Ayana because she seemed like she matched the group better and was more the other members' age. 1 second. Okay. Is Ayana going to be in the group? Ace of Wands started something new. Queen of Wands, they want someone beautiful. I really think that. Someone who's an it girl. Someone who's like, can really draw eyes. I guess you don't have to be particularly beautiful, but you have to have it. They kind of want like a Wanyang, like a Jenny, like a someone like that. Starting something. They've already started searching, or I wouldn't even say searching. They might just be like calling around. I'm sure HybexGeffen is probably, they have like so many trainees or people that they used to work with like on their roster. So I don't know if they're going to 100% like do a cold call. The start of something new though makes me think that they might not go the Ayana route. King of Swords, Queen of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Fortune turning in my favor, King of Swords. I feel like there's a lot of tension in HybexGeffen currently with trying to figure out what to do with SAINT SATINE. I see like people arguing, and it's like you have the red team and the blue team. And there's a groups of people who are like, we should go in this direction, and there's groups of people who are like, we should go in this direction. Oh, between HybexGeffen maybe, in terms of what they want. There's something like that. They need to make a decision pretty soon though. For whatever reason, I feel a time pressure. Like we have to do this by this date. Walking away. I do, per the first card still, I think they're going to try to put a fresh face in. Because this is like starting something new, something exciting. This is moving on, starting. We're doing it now. Well, I wish everyone in SAINT SATINE so much love and light. Remember, I do offer personal readings if you're interested. And with that being said, peace and love.